All right, guys, on this episode of Anabolic Activities, I'm going to be giving you guys an update, which unfortunately includes me having a seizure. All right, guys, sponsor time. We got Within You brand. We got the steak shake. We got banana, chocolate coconut, chocolate, cinnamon, the caramel, a bunch of good flavors, very anabolic, has beef, kidney, liver, organ, all the good stuff in it like you would get from red meat, but it's in a shake, easy to digest. And we got my favorite product, the hydration pack. This is gonna keep you full in the gym, even if you're on low carbs or in a prep, in a cut. It's gonna keep you full, it's gonna keep your muscles contracting the way they should. You're gonna get great pumps, and you're just gonna be overall healthy and not be dehydrated. Use code Kenny10 at checkout to save money. All right, another sponsor. So we have Rice and Grinds, amazing anabolic cream of rice. You guys have seen the orange box, the traditional orange box. It's loaded with iron. It's not healthy for you. It's not consistent when it comes to digestion. This stuff is, they have white rice, they have blueberry muffin, brown sugar, chocolate brownie, coconut, tons of different flavors to choose from, and it's not unhealthy for you. So you can eat this really, this is my primary rice source right now. So this is in most meals, and you just make it. You could make it into a cake. It's amazing. They also have almond butters for fats. They have brown sugar, cinnamon, salted chocolate, and honey flavor. Very anabolic as well. It also has a little bit of protein per serving, I think about 5 or 6 grams. So these are amazing. The macros are amazing. So give them a shot. Use code Anabolic10 to save money, and let us know what you think. All the links to these amazing sponsors will be in the link down below of this video. So make sure to check them out. And again, use code Anabolic10 and Kenny10 to save money. So we're going to get right into it. I had a sample of not Mind Bullet, and I drove to do cardio in the morning at the gym. I like the Stairmaster, and I figured why not try it out before cardio, because I want some energy. So I downed it in the car. I started to feel pretty fucked up. I felt very unusual. Did not feel like your typical shot, and I started to realize that. So I was like, okay, I gotta make it to the cardio. I have to make it to do cardio because that's what I'm here for. So I get out of my car, I made it into the gym, and I know this because there was videos. This was a whole big thing that happened at the gym, and they have it all on camera. So that's how I'm able to tell this story. And just this isn't meant to scare anybody. This is just being open about where I'm at. I'm still in prep. I'm still going to do the show. This is just something shitty that happened to me. So I go in the locker room for 5 minutes. Don't remember that. I walk out. Again, this is me watching the video today. I walk out of the locker room. I head towards the cardio room, and then I turn around, and there was machines to my left, and I put my hand over to the machine because I started, like, I wasn't able to walk, and I felt something coming on. So in the video, you'll see me, I'm not sure if we'll be able to show the video. If we can, I'll be more than happy to put it out there. I don't really care, but for now, just explain it. So I put my hand against the machine because I was feeling dizzy, and you can see me take a couple deep breaths, and then you can see me try to take a couple more breaths, but then I realize that something is very bad is happening. So I start shaking my head, and I start kind of like hitting myself, I think, because I realize I am fucked here. And I didn't know I was gonna have a seizure, obviously, but I knew something bad was coming. So I was trying to like just fight it, and then I realized, okay, I'm not going to be able to win this one. So there was a table, a glass table, and a chair. I managed to make it to the chair. In the video, I sit in the chair, and then you can see in my face, I start to look super scared. Because I knew I was fucked at that point. I was like, all right, so I get my phone out to dial 911, and I had 911 typed in my phone, but unfortunately, I started seizing up before I was able to, and even if I hit call, I wasn't able to talk at that point. So yeah, so in the video, have my phone in my hand, and then probably like 10 seconds after that, I completely seize up, my arms straighten out, my legs straighten out, I fall off the chair, I go head first into the table, face first into the ground, and I start seizing up for, I think it was close to like a minute. I want to say it was definitely a minute, but it was a decent amount of time is what they told me and what it looked like on the video. So yeah, fortunately there was a couple people that ran over to help me when they noticed me, because I was also kind of in a corner. The way I fell, I was like behind a table, in between the wall and the table, and I kept hitting my head. So yeah, some lady ran over to me first, and she didn't really know what to do. She couldn't really move me. And then a guy came over, and apparently if you put pressure on some side of your body or something on your arm, it stops the seizure. So luckily he knew what to do, so he was able to get me to stop tweaking out. And then after that, I do remember a decent amount, but I basically was just on the gym floor. And again, this is 5 a.m., so I definitely wasn't expecting this. I wake up to a bunch of EMTs over me asking me questions, and I couldn't move. It was probably the worst pain of my life when they had to move me, like on the gurney or whatever it's called. And they kept having to move my body. So basically, I also, key point here, didn't have my ID on me. I left my wallet at home, which is maybe a bad habit of mine, not having my stuff on me. So this is a learning lesson for me. But yeah, I didn't have my ID, so nobody was able to, like my parents were tripping balls. Okay, so yeah, big shout out to my buddy Dre. Dre, since nobody knew where I was at, and I didn't have an ID. So Dre is a good friend of mine. We've worked out many times, and we're boys. So he, I guess, was at the gym, pulled up the workers. I also know the workers at this gym. They told Dre. Dre hit my little brother up, and told him what was going on. And then that's how my parents found out. And then my parents started tripping balls, obviously, and were trying to find out where I was at for probably like an hour or something. I don't know. And then the EMT also said that they were taking me to South Sac. Some of you might not even know where that's at. They said they were taking me to one hospital, and they took me to a completely different hospital. I thought it was a pretty trippy experience, to be honest. I thought I was dead for a second there, because I woke up like halfway, but it was almost like I was dreaming, and I didn't know, like, I really didn't know what happened, but I knew that I was in trouble. So I thought I was dead. Like, I can't explain it. If anybody's had something like this happen, I'm sure you can relate, but I thought, like, I have to be like, I was just looking around like, this isn't real. So I thought I was a goner, but I'm not. So then, yeah, so I'm in the ambulance, and they're scaring the shit out of me. Once I do wake up, I'm scared shitless because they keep talking about a stroke. So there are a bunch of people over me. I'm in the ambulance. They're sticking me with stuff, and they keep talking about a stroke. So now my anxiety's through the roof, And I'm like, there's no way I just had a stroke in the gym. Like, what the fuck? I do this every single day, the same thing every day. I know you can't really predict when that's going to happen, but still, I was like, no way. So then I started to trip out because I thought I had a stroke. Then I get to the hospital and they tell me it wasn't a stroke, but I'm pretty messed up. Like I can't walk at all. Like I couldn't walk to go to the bathroom. I couldn't lift my legs up. I couldn't lift my arm up. Really all I could do was look and kind of reply at that point. Now I was in the ER for probably like 4 hours. And yeah, it was just a pretty insane experience. They thought I had brain damage, right? Because I went face first into the table and then face first into the floor. So they gave me a bunch of scans. Like think about the most drunk or seasick you've ever been in your life and times that by 1,000,000. That's how I felt, even just laying down. Everything was spinning. And I had to do like MRIs and stuff and a bunch of scans for my brain. So they're having to tape my head back to this table, tape my arms, tape my legs so that I don't move. They also injected me with something that was warm. So that did help a lot to calm my body down. So that was cool. But yeah, that part was fucking, I don't remember the seizure. That was definitely the worst part. But the second worst part was having to sit still in there as I'm seasick and wait for this MRI or this CAT scan or whatever it is. EKG, they did a bunch of stuff on me. Waiting for that was the worst part because I just wanted to throw up the whole time. I was also pretty fucking pissed because I was looking forward to that day. It was supposed to be a leg day. And yeah, I was pretty pissed off because I had my whole day planned and then that happened and it fucked everything up. I still got all my meals in that day though. I did do that. Got all my meals in. Didn't train obviously because I was fucked up. I just kept sleeping all day. I was pretty tired. My legs, my quads. Imagine this. This is what they told me. They said, imagine the hardest workout you've ever done. Like when you contract your muscle, like your bicep, contract it super, super hard. That is like what a seizure is like. So when my arms stiffen up, my arms weren't sore, but my legs, my quads and my adductors they're still obliterated because my legs were straight, my arms were straight, and I was just tweaking out. And it felt like when I woke up, it was like I did a fucking 1,000 set rep leg day. It was awful. And I knew I didn't because I was supposed to hit legs that day. So I knew it wasn't a good sore. So that was pretty disappointing and depressing. And then, so this is I don't understand what I get they're trying to get information, but I'm also clearly very fucked up from what just happened and whatever drugs they gave me to calm me down. So the second I open my eyes, the doctor, she's a girl, she stands right next to me and she's asking me, she said, I'm going to assume you take supplements like steroids. And I was like, yeah, I do take steroids. Sorry, I'm in a prep. I literally said, I'm in a prep right now. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. That's what's going on here. And she's like, well, I'm going to advise you to get off those because they raise your hematocrit and your red blood cell count. And then I told her, again, I was pretty impaired. I was like, oh yeah, that reminds me, I do need to give blood. And then I was fucked up. So I said, does the blood that you guys took from me, does that count will that lower my red blood cell count? And she was like, absolutely not. She was like, I recommend you get off. But, I am only using tests right now, but to them, steroids are steroids. It doesn't matter if it's tren and anadrol or testosterone. It doesn't matter. It's all the same shit to them. You could say I'm on 200 milligrams of test and they would be like, you're going to fucking die on Tuesday. So it doesn't really matter. But I expected that. But yeah, it was a hectic week this week. And this isn't This most definitely isn't for views or anything. This is just giving you guys an update and telling you guys to be, you know, just a little bit careful with certain things. I learned my lesson the hard way, which is usually how I learn. I can't, usually everything I've done, caffeine, I've been to the ER 3 times definitely before the age of 21 because I took too much caffeine. You guys have probably seen the trend. One of the Trend twins just went to the ER because he collapsed in the gym from caffeine and nicotine. Yeah, that was me like 5 years ago, 3 separate times. And then after that, my caffeine tolerance went down. So with this, it's going to be the same thing. I learned the hard way. I almost died. So now I'm going to bounce back from that, and I'm going to make some changes moving forward. But that's just, you know, that's just a learning lesson. That's unfortunately a lot of things have gone that way for me where I need a wake-up call to be able to make a change. It's not the healthiest thing. I can probably learn, and, you know, if I identify that this is a pattern, I could probably change it. But I'm just being transparent. I'm sure some people can relate. But, you know, when it comes to kratom, caffeine, anything, any stimulant, you know, I want to say anabolics. I can't really think of anything besides Clen. That's like instant and like a heart stimulant. Because anabolics will kill you over time. You're not going to take a shot of test and die. But with caffeine and stuff, you can most definitely, if you take like 3 scoops of pre-workout, your heart rate's going to be spiked. And then if you go do high intensity training, then you're tripling that. So your heart is bound to give out. So I've learned that. And that's why I've toned a lot of things down. I never been aggressive with the gear ever. I don't even have a crazy amount of experience with different compounds, but when it comes to stimulants, I have a lot of experience with stimulants. I've tried just about every pre-workout you could think of that's crazy high stim. I've mixed shit. I used to be the guy that takes the strongest pre-workout, dry scoops it, and downs it with a bang. I used to do that all the time in baseball. I used to do like 3 scoops a day of pre-workout of super, super high stim and like 3 bangs a day. That was like the normal. So we've tapered it down a lot since then. Right now, for the most part, aside from a fat burner, like an over-the-counter fat burner that has some stimulants in it, I really just do coffee. I don't even do pre-workout. If I do pre-workout, it's going to be like a Monster or something, which is a huge change for me compared to what I used to do. And a lot of those pre-workouts too, they're not going to give you a pump. They're not, if you're bodybuilding, if you're trying to, you know, if you're doing hypertrophy, if you're looking for blood flow, a lot of that shit is going to mess that up. You want blood flow. You want stuff like even just beetroot powder. I used to take beetroot powder. You could get it from like Target. That's a nitric oxide booster, whatever you call it, and it helps. It's way better than taking, you know, 700 milligrams of caffeine with a bunch of added stimulants. That's going to make you feel good. It'll make you focus, but you're going to be cold. You're going to get the cold sweats. You're going to have no veins. They're going to be sucked up. You're not going to get a pump. And it's like, what is it really doing for you at that point besides just stimulating your heart and I guess making you feel a little bit better when you could go for something way less aggressive, you know, just a pump product. Or this, you could do this, and I like to do like 12 ounces of water and maybe a pump product, and you're going to have an amazing pump compared to taking all this shit pre-workout. Even most of the companies that you see your favorite influencer promoting, that's this high stim bullshit, it's really not going to do much for you. If anything, you'll just go down the same path that I did, which is just get hooked on it. And now you're taking 2-3 scoops of pre-workout a day just to get through fucking arms, and you're not even getting a good pump. So it's like, what is it really doing for you? Since this is kind of just an update, this was very unexpected. Usually we have a topic, so if you guys have any topics, leave them in the comments, let us know, and we'll be sure to get on that next episode. But I plan to do my show May 4th in San Diego. It's the same show I did last year, which was my first show. Again, if for some reason I have a fucking seizure, then that might change. But as far as right now, that's the date. I'm sticking to it, and that's what I'm pushing for. So, yeah, I was advised to take like 3 days off. And the next morning after that, I was doing fasted cardio. I'm not going to lie. I actually did cardio twice that day, even though I did feel like shit. And I know I should take time off, but when you're in prep, for me, it's like I don't want to waste a day. So, yeah, that might have been a dumb decision. But I think after this episode, I definitely am going to take a couple days off to chill and let my body just bounce back. But yeah. I did stay on the diet the same day. I still got 5 meals in. It was difficult, and I wasn't that hungry. But I am in prep, so yeah. There's going to be a ton of things that happen in life that completely fuck you up. But if you have a goal and you're driven, then nothing should really take you away from that. This was pretty serious, so I need to be smart. I can't just be like, I'm not trying to be like the warrior motivation guy that you got to push through everything. That's, I think, is stupid and you'll crash out. But I do think that it's what I love to do, so I'm going to keep doing it. I don't know what else I would do. So that's why I bounce back and I'm just doing the same. I'm following the diet. I'm doing the cardio. I'm trying to do the training. I will say I feel pretty fatigued after that. I haven't done too much research on, exactly what a seizure is, or how it affects your nervous system or what. But it definitely does something because I feel pretty weak. Just walking around, I feel pretty weak, which is kind of a mind fuck and it pisses me off. Also, getting into the Arnold Classic because I did watch that. I'm a big bodybuilding fan. I thought it was amazing. I thought Hadi pretty much blew everybody out of the water. I don't really care what anybody has to say. His conditioning was on point. His waist was tighter. He was hard. He had super thin skin. He was full. Everything was just better. And if he came in like that at the Olympia, I think he would have won and beat Derek Lunsford. Samson, sad news, he's not with Milos anymore. They split up. Which is tragic because Milos is one of my favorite coaches. And Samson looked amazing. But his biggest thing every show was he didn't come in super, super hard compared to the guys he's going up against. I think that's what he was looking for this show, and it didn't happen. So obviously, there's a lot of different things people have said, like, oh, Milos pushes insulin too much, and that makes you hold water under the skin and all this random stuff. But to me, it's just he probably just needs a change. And who knows who he'll end up with. You got Chad Nichols, you got Hani Rambod, you have Patrick Torr, Chris Aceto, all these great coaches that are known for getting guys super conditioned. So who knows where he'll end up, but I do think it's going to be interesting to see if another coach can bring him in super conditioned, because that's the talk right now, is if Samson can get super, super dry and hard, he's going to be Mr. Olympia, which I do believe that. But I agree with the call. Hadi was tits. He was amazing. He looked great. Third was, I think it was Rafa. I don't know his full name, but Rafa, who is coached by Neil Hill. He looked crazy. He came in blasting full. His shoulders, his chest was 3D. Everything was out to here. I really liked his look. Who else? James Hollingshead looked amazing. He came in way fuller than he did last year too, and he didn't lose any muscle, it looked like, this year. Who else? I'm trying to think. Who else? Oh, John De La Rosa. He is a vet. He has been around for a long time. He recently started working with Patrick Torr, and Patrick got him in super lean, super dry, and people were saying that that was the best they've ever seen him, which is pretty sick because he is on the older side and he has been around for a while. So for him to bring in what he did was pretty cool to see. And I think he got 5th, maybe 4th. I'm not sure, but everybody looked amazing. But I was a big fan of Hottie just because I don't know how much better you could come in than that. He just looked amazing. And with Samson, he looked amazing too. I'd probably prefer him, but again, he still looked amazing, but they said that he didn't bring in like super dry conditioning, so he got 2nd, but it's okay. But yeah, the Arnold Classic physique, there was a big upset. Wesley Vissers took 1st, beat Ramon, beat Urs, beat Breon, which was crazy because he definitely has a classic physique, but he has a little bit different structure. A lot of people have said he has a boxy looking waist, which I guess is true, but everything else around it makes it look fine, in my opinion. So to see him win was super cool. I don't think anybody expected it. Urs, I don't know. Again, I'm not really giving advice to any of these people because they're fucking pros and they know what they're doing, but I'm just going off of what people have said in other videos, which is Urs probably needs a good off season to put on more size to be able to I know his back is locking, so if he takes a good off season, chills out from competing and being lean all the time, even though he did get up to 280 this last year, but if he extended that, I think a lot of the tissue would stick come stage time, and I think he's, in my opinion, going to be the next when Chris Bumstead's gone, I think he is going to be up there for 1st. I do like Ramon, but I like Urs' structure better, and now there's Wesley in the mix, so it's going to be interesting for Classic. Men's physique, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't watch men's physique. I couldn't tell you. I think his name was Diogo, that one. I did see pictures of him. He looked really good, except I'm pretty sure he had like washed out abs or something. There was some comments. I saw some guy that won. I'm pretty sure it was him. He looked crazy, but he didn't have these like etched in abs. It looked like there was just kind of like a film over his midsection, which is weird because men's physique is like, that's the thing. Like you have crazy abs, you have good lats, crazy shoulders, taper. So I don't know, but he did look amazing. So, and then women's, I think bikini, I think it was Laura Lee that won. I think she's won a couple times. I didn't watch, so I couldn't tell you how she looked, but congrats to everybody who is able to even compete at the Arnold. Also, Nsima's girlfriend, Sam, won the Arnold Amateur and got her pro card in bikini, so shout out to her. That was amazing. That is my goal is to... All right, guys, so that was just a little update for you. Yeah, usually we have a topic, but if you have any topic ideas for next episode, leave them in the comments. We appreciate every comment, every like. We love all you guys. We really appreciate the support. We're really trying to grow this channel, and it takes a lot of time. So we appreciate you guys watching. And if you have any topic ideas, drop them in the comments. Who knows? Maybe if we get a decent amount of engagement, we'll do a giveaway or something. So let us know, and we appreciate all of you. Also, if you're listening on any audio platform, make sure to drop a review. It really helps us. It goes a long way, and we do appreciate every single one of you guys. And the more of those we can get, the more we can give back to you guys, do giveaways, hand shit out wherever. So thank you. Also, we're going to start bringing in more guests. We've done that before, but we're going to start doing it again to make things a little spicy. So if you have any guests that you'd like to see me talk to, pick their brain, just podcast with, shoot the shit, let us know. Drop them down in the comments, and we will try our best to get those people on.